When I think of AEW, I tend to think of people like Chris Jericho, Sammy Guevara, Powerhouse Hobbs, maybe even Malachi Black, and as of recently, Kazuchikaokada. But you, good old Tony Khan, you're just a team mascot, aren't you, mate? Yeah, the loser of the league. The richest man in the room, but not exactly the brightest. God damn, man. If that old Suicide Squad homage for Captain Boomerang dissing the Flash didn't gather it here, I got a problem. Oh man, I already did a video called My Problems with AEW in 2024. Well, this is damn sure not gonna be a sequel to that. Oh no, this is the spin-off. It's My Problems with Tony Khan in 2024. Cause honestly, man, Tony Khan has been, I'm gonna be real with you. On the booking side of things, in terms of the matches that have been happening, as of late, it's been really good. No lies here. I give props when credit is due, man. I'll credit somebody when credit is due. Full, like I had no problem telling you how good the matches have been with the likes of Takeshita and Osprey and Danielson in them. They have amazing matches, and you got freaking Anna Jay and Storm and freaking what's her name? Thunder Rosa. Thunder Rosa came back and she had that match with Storm at Dynasty. Hell, Dynasty itself, from all accounts, was a solid pay-per-view, man. So yeah, them's the good parts. The dude when he's behind the scenes, just booking the matches. He's good, man. But good God, man, if AEW was a football team, he would be the mascot when it comes to what's going on camera. He'd just be some dude in a big chicken suit blathering on about team spirit and let's go and like I don't know, man. Like I don't know, maybe mascot is too demeaning, man. There's some good mascots out there. The mascot is an important role. So I'm not slagging any mascots here. You know what he'd be? He'd be the guy, the team manager. Yeah. He's not actually on the team, but he's sure as hell acts like he is. If anyone asked him, he would say, "Yeah, I'm on the team." Even though I just handle all the gear and stuff and help the coach with like laying out cones and whatever. But yeah, I'm totally on the team. He'd be that guy when he's on the camera. He's that freaking guy. But hot damn. And if you ain't been keeping up on recent events in the AEW verse, I don't blame you. It's been what am I saying? If you've been keeping up with Dynasty and them, you know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about that damn AEW return of Jackass Perry. You know, man, he freaking the scapegoat who was cast off to New Japan with pay returned. Also, okay, that makes no sense. This whole thing, to give background, the scuffle between CM Punk and Jack Perry resulted in CM Punk quitting / being fired from AEW and Jack Perry being suspended with pay and shipping off to New Japan, where he went on some binge about I was the scapegoat. He tore up an AEW contract, which questions why he's even back here. If you didn't want to be back here, then what the hell are you doing? Whatever, man. Like he was suspended because of all that, like indefinitely suspended, and now he's back. The Young Bucks were like, "Yeah, we talked to Tony Khan, and Perry's back in the fold, basically." Yeah, so Perry came to the ring, raised Tony's hand, gave him a hug, but gave a knowing look at the camera that's like, "Oh, I got this sucker." And then, bam! One microphone shot to the ribs later, and Tony goes down. I don't just mean he falls to the ground. He like springs up and then goes down. Man, looked like he just got shot. Hot damn, man. What the hell? It was one microphone shot. And you're like hunched over, like, oh my God, man. He was ranting like he just got speared. One microphone shot took this man down. Down. Like, it wasn't even a Big Show microphone shot, man. If the Big Show took a punch to your gut, I would understand. I mean, if Paul White took a big swing and landed right in your stomach, I would understand you keeling over and going on all fours. I would totally get that. He's a big dude. If Hobbs laid a punch that like on you like that, I'd get it. If Malachi Black laid a kick on you, you'd be unconscious. But I'd get it. It makes sense. Those are reasonably big dudes. And not only that, they got that devastating, power to them. But Jackass Perry? No, man, one microphone shot brought you to your knees, man. Come on, man. Weak sauce, man. Like Vince would take a bunch of punches before he went down. Only time he went down in one move was when he got clotheslined or something. Like, for real. And even then, he wasn't like rolling around on the floor like, oh my God, like, you got me, man. Like, I don't want to praise Vince McMahon given all the allegations, but damn, sometimes Vince McMahon. Oh, one more thing. He was better than on the mic, too. Tonykhan. I get it. Man, being on the mic ain't for everybody. Even in the world of AEW, it's not for everyone, man. Not everybody can cut great promos. Not everybody can get in front of a crowd of tens of okay, depending on what episode or what show we're watching, not everyone can get on in front of a crowd of a couple thousand people and deliver a promo without getting like stage fright or whatever. If the dude got stage fright, that's fine. I understand that. I am totally cool with him cutting promos backstage if it helps with the stage fright and he's not like nervously looking around like a chihuahua that fell into a swimming pool. But like, damn, man. When he's out here on stage, there was no looking around. He wasn't all coked up and animated like is it the scrums and shit. But on this episode, it was it was all right. The promo did what it needed to do. It was okay. Like I said, I give props where needed, but damn, like this could have happened backstage. I mean, no. For this swerve to happen, it had to happen in the ring. But damn, man, like, was this necessary to close the show? The show went off the air with Tony Khan getting jumped. Like, yeah. Oh, so yeah, Perry one-shots him. The EVPs come on down with the straight man, Kazuchikaokada, the best thing about that whole group, being honest. And they go to give him the EVP trigger, but Okada's like, no, don't do this. And it makes for this hilarious visual, man. This hilarious visual is created when he like steps between them and the Young Bucks got Tony like by the arms. And if you pause at the right moment, it's like they got him by the arms. Or like, no. If you pause at the right moment, it looks like he giving the Young Bucks hand jobs. While like Okada's getting his head. Like it just looks that bad. That's the thing with like wrestling sometimes. There are several moments in wrestling where if you pause at the wrong time, you just see the weirdest stuff, man. There's a bit of hilarity in here. This is supposed to be a serious moment. It's supposed to be a serious thing. Like the head of the company is being attacked. And I'm just thinking like, wait, what the? That's a weird moment to pause on right there, but whatever. So he's like, no, don't hit the EVP trigger. Like, get him with the piledriver, and they hit him with the Meltzer driver, or as Tony Khan loved to point out at that NFL thing. I'll get to that later. Now it's the Tony Khan driver, which, let's be real, dude, should have clued you in that something was up. They named it the Meltzer driver to, give some flack to Meltzer. Now they're renaming it the Tony Khan driver. Terrible name, but still, they're naming it the Tony Khan driver. Should have clued you in that maybe something is up here. I get it. They did this to kind of take Tony out of the equation and let everybody know that they're the ones running the show. Like Tony Khan just puts up the money. In storyline, that's what's being told here. Tony Khan isn't out of commission. The EVPs are running the show. There's rumors that there's going to be a general manager brought in. I mean, if that's the case, I'm like, what? Like, who do y'all think it could be? I mean, I would say Eric Bischoff, but there's beef between him and Khan, so that's definitely not an option. Cornette would be funny. It would be funny to have Cornette be the guy. But that'll never happen either because, well, if you listen to the drive-through or have even looked up the name Jim Cornette and anything he's had to say about what he thinks of the Young Bucks and, Jack Perry, like, you'll know that ain't never going to happen. There ain't enough money in the world back up in dude's house to be like, okay, I'll put aside my hatred for all this flippy shit to... Anyway. That's neither here nor there, but this is... So they nail the piledriver, and Tony is down. He's more down than before. He is not moving, not 1 inch. And then and then all the baby faces come out there. The referees come out there. They're like, "What are you doing? He's a billionaire, man. Like, what are you doing, man? Like, just where were y'all when this was happening? Why did y'all come out after the fact? Why? What the? Also, like, I mean, the weirdest baby faces. It's all the mid carders. Like what the? Wait. You telling me none of the main event dudes care about tonykhan? Like, nobody? Just all the mid card guys coming to be like, "Oh my goodness, what happened to Tony? What's going on?" Like, you couldn't watch that in the monitor backstage. Like, so the EVPs leave, as does Perry. And they're the new elite. No more Omega, no more Hangman. I mean, good riddance to that guy. But I guess, Hangman works better on his own. I mean, when he was with the Dark Order, it was kind of hard. It was kind of hard to take him seriously as a main dude when he was like running with the Dark Order. Like, is the Dark Order still a thing? Didn't they fire a bunch of people? I mean, whatever, man. Like, also, how coincidental is it that around about the same time tonykhan gets publicly accused of not acting like a boss, he starts acting like a boss and letting people go that he's not using? Like, for real. Like, we got some more people you could be letting go, man. There's plenty of people backstage. I'm sure there's plenty of folks back there twisting in the wind. Like, just like that Colt Cabana guy. When was the last time he was on TV, huh? That dude was hired out of spite. Okay? Like, it's time to fire him for practicality, because, like, let's be real, man. Like, Jeff Jarrett can be accused of not drawing a dime all he wants, but, like, he actually draws money, and he has, like, a regular presence on TV. Colt Cabana actually doesn't draw a dime. He's not on TV. And before somebody jumps in going, "Oh, he's on Ring of Honor," nobody watches that shit. Be honest with yourselves. Only time you watch Ring of Honor is when they show up on AEW pay-per-views. So please, cut it with that crap. So what else is going on? So yeah, the best part of all this, like, I actually liked this part. This was a nice touch, because if you were gonna sell this as a real big deal, this would happen. Like, Tony Khan's dad, Shad Khan, showed up. I'm like, that was a nice touch. He showed up and he genuinely looked like concerned. Like, hey, like, what's going? Like, is he okay? Like, what is he gonna be all right? Like, he didn't say all that, but he conveyed that with his face. He's unintentionally better at this than Tony Khan is. Weirdly enough, and I don't know if he's I don't know if he's got any acting background, but he did convey, like, have that look on his face of genuine concern. My big stash and all. Like, that's a solid mustache, by the way. Moving on. I don't know. I remember listening to the drive-thru and someone, I don't know if it was Brian Last or Cornette, but said, like, Shad was showing up to, like, where's my, like, what are you doing with my money, Tony? Like, what's going on? Like, what have you done? Like, he was coming to that, and I just remembered that weird song based on The Room. I think Tommy Wiseau and his Greg Sestero made. I remember that guy with the gun. He comes in to, like, get money from Danny. He's like, "Where's my money, Danny? What'd you do with my money?" Like, I'm just picturing Shad Khan walking in there like, "What happened to all the money, Tony? What do you do with it?" Like, this is the only time he could get a one-on-one with him with all this was going on. Like, he'd been looking for him all day, and now he sees him on TV, and he shows up, see him laying in the middle of the ring, like, "What are you doing with that money? Is this what you're spending it all on? What the heck is going on here?" Like, just, oh, shit. Man, this show, as much as I may give this show grief, man, as much as I may have problems, like I said before, I got no problem giving credit where credit is due, and I will point out the positives. Another positive of this whole shebang was that this was kind of funny. This was unintentionally hilarious, and it was trying to be serious. When AEW tries to be serious, they can come across as funny. When they're actively trying to be funny, it can come across as like, really, man, this is the best we could do. There's those little things that are really funny, like, I can't remember who this was, but there was a backstage promo with Soraya and her, and there was this, like, spoon in her head, and he's like, "I'm gonna get her with this." He's like, "That's a spoon." She, like, hits Soraya right in the boob with the spoon. Like, it's like, what the? That was good.
That was hilarious, man. Little Simpson reference there. But, a problem, man. So then it goes wrong. It was seemingly going really well, man. Bit of overacting with the whole not moving at all bit. Like, even people who've, like, been seriously injured in the ring to move around. Like, Stone Cold Steve Austin landed on his neck in the one SummerSlam in the 90s. And he was, freaking, like, had serious neck damage, but even he moved around a little bit. Like, he did, like, still have some motion, like, to show that, yeah, I'm still alive. I'm not dead. I'm not, like, comatose or anything. And, like, the amount of times Daniel Bryan been dumped on his freaking head, he still, like, moved around a little. So, like, there was, like, twitching. There would be twitching or something, so you could try to test if, like, damn, am I paralyzed? Can I still feel my legs? Like, what's the extent of the damage? You wouldn't lay there still as a plank. That'd be like, oh, you must have, like, brain damage or something. But that's not here nor there, because this is where it all goes wrong. If you're going to do this and try to sell, like, oh, man, they got him with the pile driver, his neck is all jacked up, bring a stretcher! Bring a damn stretcher out there. Don't be... That's what I'm saying when it all went wrong. Because then he stood up and walked out. They had him... granted, he had people helping him stand up, but the fact that he stood up at all, not just that he stood up, but when he was walking away, he had his head hang, like, really, really low. He had his head hanging low, dude. Like, what the heck, man? People with neck injuries don't be walking around like that. Also, people with neck injuries don't just hang their freaking head. Like, that shit hurts. What the... Like, dude, you'd be walking, like, holding a part of you would be holding the side of your head, or, like, the side of your neck, and trying to keep yourself upright, so as not to, like, cause yourself any further pain or any further damage. Like, why couldn't you bring a stretcher out there? Why couldn't you just, like, do, like, a proper injury angle where dude gets wheeled out, man? Vince did it. Freaking, I'm pretty sure even Dixie did it, man. And all she did was go through a table. Granted, going through a table is no easy thing to do. Not everybody can just go through a damn table, but damn, dude. Like, Dixie Carter, hot damn, Dixie Carter did the on-screen thing better. Oh, man, Dixie Carter did this shit better. Dixie Carter may not have always made the right decisions, but damn, when she was on TV, she was pretty good at it, man. Like, and even when she wasn't good, it was still inadvertently entertaining. Even when she was like, when Hulk Hogan was, like, quitting the company and she was, like, clutching at his legs, like, no, don't go. Like, that was funny. Granted, it was terrible for the company in terms of, like, optics and whatnot. Like, the head of TNA clutching onto a relic of the past and Hulk Hogan, like, that doesn't look good from that perspective. But, like, yeah, aside from that, Dixie Carter was pretty good on-screen GM, the TNA president. Also, she wasn't a GM. She was the TNA president. That was good. I like that. And, like, that was a good change. It was a different thing from what WWE was doing. WWE, yeah, they had a WWE president and Jack Tunney, and, like, Ric Flair was WWE president one time, like, co-presidents with, like, Vince back in the day, but that was vacated. That position was vacated for a long-ass time. But, yeah, I don't think they've had one since. But, they've had WWE commissioners and whatnot, but, like, if him walking away on his own power was where it went wrong, what happened after? This is where it all went dumb, man. This is all just got really dumb. When he was on that NFL show, and they talked about, like, Tony Khan took the Meltzer driver, which is a banned move in several states, including Tennessee. Like, which this be questioning, like, isn't Jerry Lawler from Memphis? Like, isn't Jerry Lawler kind of a big deal in Memphis? Doesn't he do a pile driver? Like, how's he wrestle around there? Does he not wrestle in Memphis because he does the pile driver, which is a banned move? I mean, it's even called the Tennessee pile driver. So I'm like, look, how does he like wrestle? I mean, because he's still out here wrestling, man. Old as Jerry Lawler was, he wrestled, man. Like, in the 2010s, he was still wrestling. When he was wrestling, like, The Miz and them, he wasn't coming out of retirement to do that. He was still wrestling. like it was wrestling matches you wouldn't see, but like still, man, he was out there. Like there, I think the last shot of him in a wrestling ring, he had like a white beard, but like I mean, he has a white beard now, but like that, I don't know for sure, but like maybe, I mean, he might be like he's still out there, man, humping them roads, power driving them fools, and like flaunting that Burger King crown. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. So this is where it gets dumb. Yeah, Tony Khan says this soundbite of like how AEW is like everything is great. We're the greatest, we're like the best startup since in terms of sports, since like the AHL. Honestly, I would have said like we're the best like new sports startup since like the UFC. It's more of a better comparison as opposed to the AHL. Like, dude, AHL really? AHL hockey players practice with NHL hockey players. Like people go from the AHL to the NHL. Like AHL is like the NXT of like hockey or something. Wait a minute, do you say AHL or AFL? I don't. That's not a here nor there. But my point still stands, man. Like AHL and AFL is like the NXT of sports in a way, because you go from there to the big leagues of the NHL and the NFL. Like the main roster of that base. That's neither here nor there. That ain't the problem. The problem is what came after. He says, we are going up against this juggernaut that is our competition. No, you're not, man. If you were really... You know what competition is? Head-to-head. That's freaking competition. Going on, having pay-per-views on the same days. That's competition. Competition, like, they have Monday Night Raw, we have Monday Night Dynamite. Or they have Wednesday Night NXT, we have Wednesday Night Collision or something. That's competition, not what you're doing. You put your shows on different days to avoid this kind of thing. And then you're like, competition, because like, if you really put your shows on the same night and told your diehard audience, choose. I mean, okay, your diehards wouldn't, but you told the general wrestling audience to choose which show do you want to watch. There's a large portion of them that would say, I would rather watch WWE. I'm familiar with WWE. I know WWE. I grew up on WWE. I'm not so sure about AEW. They're a bit hit and miss. Say what you want about WWE, but they're like, okay, what do you want? An inconsistent A- student? Every now and then he'll get an A-, but every now and then it's like not so good. Or a consistent B+ player. Say what you want about the WWE. They are the king of this shit. Titan, they call like Titan Sports, but like that's an appropriate name for them, man. Like Titan Towers and shit, that's an appropriate name for it. But if they are consistently a B-level student that every now and then will bust out an A, yeah, I'd rather take... Personally, I watch WWE more than I do AEW. But I also watch AEW now and then because it's not on the same nights. Because I have the choice to do so. AEW being in the business is a net positive for wrestling as a whole. Okay? It's not just a case of the guys have, an alternative. If you don't make it in the Feds, don't worry. You could be somewhere else. TNA was that for a change. Until like they kind of lost the plot. But anyway, they're back on track. TNA is back on track. There's 3 solid, American wrestling companies now. Ring of Honor ain't in there because it's part of AEW. So you got WWE, AEW, and then Impact. It used to just be WWE and Impact, but the emergence of AEW and the success they've had made them number 2 by default. They're the number 2 biggest wrestling company in America, and that's nothing to sneeze at. But dude is like, we're competing with WWE, we're going up against this juggernaut. We're the underdog. Yeah, the underdog backed by a billionaire. Just saying. And it's like, yeah, we're the underdog and all this. We're like Pepsi, and they're like Harvey Weinstein. Oh, you just had to stick that in there, didn't you? Just had to get that last little jab in. Like, hey, over in WWE, they got a good guy running the show. He's got all these accusations. It's like, man, and he's got all these allegations and horrible things he's done. Remember that? But over here, we squeaky clean, man. We squeaky clean. Everybody loves us. We like Pepsi. Like, we're like Pepsi, man. They're like Harvey Weinstein. Dude, that makes no sense. That similarly makes no sense. If you were to say, like, if you were to do it properly, you'd just say, we're like Pepsi and they're like Coca-Cola. That makes way more sense than, we are like a soft drink. They are like a predator, a criminal, a horrible human being. Like, an entire company is now represented by one dude. Like, one dude who's no longer there, hasn't been there in almost a year now, who is so far removed from the product that the entire product has changed. Anyone who's associated with him is so far removed from the product that the product is unrecognizable from what it used to be. That's your joke. The joke is so out of date, man. Seriously. The only way your joke, your little jab would have landed is if you made it like freaking 6 months ago. If you made that same jab 6 months ago, it might have had some, traction to it. But even then, man, by November, WWE was like, Triple H was effectively running the show because, Survivor Series was around then in November. CM Punk was back there. So then it's like, even then your joke would have been out of date. Like 10 months. Let's say 10 months. You'd have had to make that line 10 months ago before, in order for it, or like right as that Janelle Grant stuff happens, in order for this stuff to be like, oh, he said, it's like, oh, like now it's like, oh man, like I can't believe you said that, man. That was, I get you're trying to say it's like, you're Pepsi, they're Coke. They're this huge conglomerate, and we're like this company that's, churning out quality product everyone loves. I get that. But full disclosure, man, given the fact that Chris Jericho, Darby Allin, Sammy Guevara are all on your show and have all had allegations and accusations levied against them, and you still employ them, I'm just saying, buddy, if WWE is Harvey Weinstein, then AEW is Nickelodeon. And that'll be the last word. Hey, Moonlight citizens, just wanted to give you a, I didn't do an intro, so I'll stick it here at the end. Big outro. This has been Moonlight Kingdom Podcast, episode 31. I've been your Moonlight King. And I don't normally go on rants and stuff like this, but honestly, man, I dig AEW. I'm glad AEW's here. Like I said, they're a net positive. And besides, if AEW wasn't around, most wrestling YouTubers and podcasters, they would have very little to talk about. I mean, WWE's in a good place right now. We don't have much to talk about when WWE's in a good place. When the wrestling landscape's in a good place, there's not much content. But when stuff's going wrong or stupid things and decisions are being made, then the content comes a-flowing. It's easier to, talk about the things wrong with something than look at all the good things it does. Like a Doubting Thomas situation. It is far easier to point out a person's one mistake than their 99 other successes out of 100. So, but yeah, don't seek to live life like that, though. Don't go into things looking for mistakes. I don't go into AEW looking for things to not like. There's plenty of stuff I like. I like Konosuke Takeshita. I like, Will Ospreay in the ring. I wasn't sold on him when he cut that promo on Triple H, but his wrestling skill speaks for itself. There's so much to like about AEW. There's so much to like about WWE. The idea that you can only see one or you can only be a fan of one is ridiculous. Enjoy both. Be happy. If you like AEW, that's good. You like WWE, that's good. You like both, even better. There's things to like about both. There's things that detract from both of them. But they're both good wrestling shows. They can both have their moments of stupidity. But whatever it is, they both make for good content. As always, folks, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and, be good to yourselves, and, whatever, man. That's all I got to say, brother. Tell me when I'm telling lies.
Yeah. Let's go. If I go, I'ma get. When I throw, I'ma hit. And I know I'm the kid. I'm a soul, don't forget. I'ma blow up when it got